who's the author of the poetry collections The Opposite of People and How the Losers Love What's Lost, which won the 2010 Intro Prize from Four-Way Books. He studied poetry at Northwestern University, Boston University, and the James A. Michener Center for Writers at the University of Texas. He was recently a Fulbright Fellow to Iceland, and he currently lives here in Austin. Please welcome Patrick Ryan.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you for coming. So I'm trying to do this thing where I start every reading with a new poem, mostly just to force myself to write new poems. So this one is called When I Said I'd See You in Hell. When I said I'd see you in hell, I meant it. Yes, yes. But I meant that hell is where people like us can be together. Aggressive bodies peeled off like wet sweaters on a suddenly summery afternoon, without all that shame and pretending we weren't the names we called each other. So let's go swimming in that lake of fire. Let's dive down through the flames and see who can hold his breath the longest when it doesn't matter. Let's step out on the shore, holding hands and smiling with what's left of our faces, sweet as the boys we never were or would be, innocent of a few things yet. So I was really thrilled when Tracey asked me to read with her because Tracey and I have known each other for a really long time. We went to grad school like 12 years ago when I was even more pretentious and insufferable than I am now, which is possible. You might not believe it, but it's totally true. And Tracey had every right not to like me. In fact, I gave her many reasons to over the years. But somehow she's still friends with me. So I decided that I was going to read a poem from my first book because it was actually born in one of those workshops where she probably constantly rolled her eyes at everything I said, for good reason. This is called Given a Gift Certificate to a Fortune Teller. She said I had the saddest hands in town. My palms like movies made from Russian plays. Bad lines, bad lines. She offered me a discount on crystals and a candle to light my way into my unlit future. The cards were laid face down across the table, and when I picked, she started to laugh. A private joke, she said, and then got serious. Poverty and sickness, misunderstandings. She offered me some water. She said I'd want it later. She said I'd travel, far, but only briefly. Like her daughter who joined the Navy and came home with a lover with an ugly aura. Awful mauve, some yellow. Mine was muddy, but when she dimmed the lights, it got much better. We built 2 piles of pillows on her living room floor and spread my astral charts between us. Here, the star of my birth. Here, my death. They look the same. Here were the stars above us then, that strange cold moment, clear and terribly small in all that space, so far from everything else. She pointed out my planets in their shadowed houses, and then she showed me hers. Neptune, potential. Saturn, disappointment. Her daughter and the men, her Pluto, Mars. She talked about her visions. Her voice got deeper. A leaking bowl, a high plateau, so bare and very dry. She said she couldn't sleep most nights because of what she knew, or feared she might find out. She said to stay another hour or so, no charge, and then we both were quiet quite a while, watching the moths against the window, so pale, so almost nothing. And then I'm going to switch to some stuff from my more recent book. Patrick Ryan Frank as the Informant. Smaller than all the things I'd never done, I went unnoticed. But then that Russian's death, and I was asked about the stolen guns, the cocaine and the meth, and all that happened again in my high whisper, clear as vodka in an offered glass. Full of names, connections, I couldn't stop. Felt then as if a redbird lived inside my mouth. We sang together from our tall stool, and men in gray suits held their breath to hear. I think I actually stole one of those lines from Tracey. So, thanks. I wrote a lot about commercials because I'm kind of obsessed with commercials, because I often think they're more interesting than other things on TV. This is called a commercial for a weight loss plan. The blurred before, awful and ill-lit, and then the after, bright as a champagne flute, but never a picture of the miserable middle. The hunger and scale, the weights and sweat, the swearing of a girl who kicks the slow, untrained dog of her body and then feels bad and feeds it every sweet scrap she can find. How does anyone not hate the thing they know will make them happy? So hide those photos. Let no one ever know how hard it was. That want so starved, it gnawed itself apart. This is called, as in a film, Two Lovers. Poplar, maple with its bleeding bark. She leads him down a path, naming trees while a drum corps rumbles somewhere near. First day of summer, and they've just met. A glance on the street, chance smile among the people there, waiting for a parade to start. He thinks his ribs would break apart if she touched his skin just below his ear, just briefly, once. She can't believe how pale his eyelids are in the shivered jigsaw shadows of the leaves, or that this is really how it all begins. A drum roll, and then the horns break in. Okay, I guess we're gonna get a little sexy now. This is called Commercial for a Phone Sex Hotline. We're in a doctor's office, and I'm a nurse. Or you're a cop, or we both study math. This is the Township of Satisfaction, and you are a registered voter. What would you like me to say? That I'm wearing nothing but a collar, and will screw the way a late-night preacher works his pews. There'll be music, there'll be wrath. Or that shame is the clean white napkin a hungry man will spread across his lap. Or that nothing has to be its boring self anymore. So you be the bashful Latvian masseuse, and I'll be you, lying on the floor in the dark with all those possibilities and a touch-tone phone, knowing what to do and knowing the truth. That once you pull yourself past the stubborn body, the heart is so easy to please. I think just one more from this book, and a couple of new things. I don't know why I always feel obligated to tell people like just how much they have left to deal with. It's like, just hold on, you only got like 3 more poems. You can do it. This is called The Trouble with Blondes is that they're always in trouble. Girls running up the stairs in lovely shoes. Girls dancing slowly through those sunlit rooms while someone outside stares. Unfair or not, the world wraps all of its idiot pity around the necks of all the pretty girls and pulls them forward into that briefly gorgeous light. A young girl builds a castle on the beach. It's perfect, but the tide is coming in so quickly that you can't feel all that bad, breaking it apart beneath your heel. And then I want to do just a couple of new poems to prove to myself that I'm writing new poems. Our mutual friend Neil commissioned me to write a sonnet, and he's like, I have to give you a theme. And the theme was frames. And I was like, do I write about Warby Parker? Like, what the hell do you do with frames? So I just did this instead. This is called Footage. Oh, broken open apple, black body cracked against the gravel, a cell phone camera rolling, the men around him standing, but scroll back and see them kneeling there, see them holding the arms already pinned behind his back, already still, go back and see him falling to the sidewalk, rewind and see them pulling out their sidearms, watch, go back. Here's what you see. A black man, 30 years old. Here he's only smoking, and then he's smoke. There he drifts out past the shaking frame, beyond where any hand or word can hold him. And here, again, everything is broken, and somehow everything still looks the same. And then the last one, it's called Whose Intentions Are Good. My other lover lives under the overpass. Backpack straps rolled over his bony shoulders, hunger rolled under his tongue, a hangdog face. Everyone knows God loves the beautiful and, like everyone, punishes what he loves. The rest of us are left to punish ourselves. That's why I'm telling you this, because sometimes I am as empty as an addict's black bag of backup plans, and the heart starts sealing when it isn't watched. so come along and see. His shadow in the headlights is almost endless, and it is as thin as the end of everything. It goes and never goes away. Thank you.